Welcome to an Ag Partners Delta N plot. I'm going to be your host today, and my name is Jake Grettencourt. I'm a digital technology associate based out of Goodhue, Minnesota. So today is just one of those days where it's not great to dry down some corn. We're real close to black layer, but it's 50 degrees and it's overcast and it's spitting rain, so we really need it to get sunny for us. But I do kind of want to talk about some of the positives we had this growing season. So right during grain fill, when we were kind of filling out during tassel, filling out that ear, uh, we had some of the best weather we could have asked for, really. And what I mean by that is we had those cool nights and those warm days, and that really extended that grain field period longer than what it should have. And that's what really helped us kind of get back on track. We're not totally back on track, but it helped us get back on track with yield potential. We're still about 2 weeks behind based off of the planting conditions we've had. I know back in May and June, the morale was pretty negative, but as I've kind of drove through the countryside, I think corn is going to be, relatively decent this year for the growing season we've had, and we can owe it to that late July, early August. Again, it goes back to that extending that grain fill period. We couldn't ask for a better growing season then. So behind me, it's the Delta N plot, and I know it doesn't look like much, and that's because really it's not. It's regular. It's just a regular old field, and it's one of our growers' fields right down the road. And really what we do is we look at three different things in this plot, right? So we're looking at a zero rate block where we don't apply any nitrogen. We look at the normal rate where that grower just does his normal fertilized program there. And then we also look at 125% above that normal rate to see if more nitrogen is really the key or if it's the timing of nitrogen. So our results are pretty unique this year based off of the growing season we've had. That the June through July, like super excessive weather, excessive rainfall. So that was pretty tough, especially when you start talking about nitrogen movement throughout the soil. So really, this plot or this program is designed to kind of monitor nitrogen throughout the soil. So weekly, we have our interns go out and they take nitrate samples 3 feet down in the soil profile, and we're looking at how those nitrates are moving throughout that soil profile on those three different blocks, so that zero, normal, and the higher rate. And then also what we're utilizing for this program is some of the ag technology that the industry has came out with. And what I mean by that, we've got Climate Nitrogen Advisor, which is a great crop model or a great nitrogen model. And then we're looking at a new one from Winfield United, and it's a crop model and it's a nitrogen model. It's really very unique. So what I mean by a crop model is it can do based off of your planting conditions and the information you put in. It creates a predicted and a potential yield. And then with that predicted and potential yield, it also gives you a nitrogen and potassium model, because we know that those are the key nutrients that really move throughout the soil. So we kind of want them to stay still, right? So we're able to use those nitrogen models to kind of help with our Delta N plot. One unique thing I like about FFT too, it's going to be that it's also a tool that can help you make some side dressing recommendations too, because it's got that crop model built into it along with that nitrogen model. So if you're pretty interested in that, give us a shout. I'd be happy to work with you. And then to kind of get back on track off my tangent there about the technology, we've been seeing some awesome results out in the plot. And I've got some ears I want to show you here. So we've got that normal rate, or that low rate, that zero rate, right? And that's where no nitrogen was applied. And the ears look, to be expected. Pretty shallow, some tip back, what have you. And then we get to this normal rate, right? And pretty decent looking ear. We're almost a black layer, like I said. We got some stress there, some nitrogen stress, probably, and that's where we got that tip back. And then we get into this high rate, right? So we think this kind of answers that question of do I need to put on more in, or do I have to split apply? It's whatever you want to do, but I think we're going to encourage you to kind of look here at the results we see. We saw that the higher rate of nitrogen looks pretty similar to the normal rate. And if you attended the answer plot sessions back in September, I know Chad and we really kind of discussed a lot of it's not the amount of nitrogen you put on, it's the timing of when you put that nitrogen on that is really crucial to that plant. Because we know after tassel season, after that the shoots out of tassel, that we still got 30% of our nitrogen to uptake. So when we put on more up front, we have a year like this where excessive rainfalls and it's probably leached away. I think that's where we should have that conversation, setting yourself up for next year on using that split applied nitrogen. And to kind of, you know, we're getting the gears of looking forward into the next year fertilizer program. I do encourage you to kind of step outside the box, try something new. And what I mean by that is, let's try that technology out. Let's try that FFT, or let's try your climate nitrogen advisor. Or if you want to, we can take weekly nitrate samples on your soil. We can take them once a month, whatever you think's fit. But you know, nitrogen's the key to growing some bushels here. So we really got to be efficient with our nitrogen and make sure we're using it at the right time. And that's going to be the big placement on getting that high yield. So thank you. If you got any questions, please feel free to contact me. I office out of the Goodhue location, or contact your local agronomist. I know they're going to be open to have that discussion about technology and some nitrogen management. So yeah, let's move forward. Let's have an awesome harvest and a safe one. And thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.